Last year, inDrive pulled off one of the smartest marketing plays I've seen in a while in Nigeria. The inDrive Dream Ride campaign had Rolls-Royce, Mercedes-Benz, and celebrities picking up inDrive clients. While on the surface, this might seem like your typical marketing stunt, like a viral play to get visibility. While visibility was a very big part of this campaign, there was a deeper psychological play with this campaign, a branding strategy, and that really highlights the genius of inDrive. In this video, I'll be walking you through the concept, what they try to do with this campaign. Hopefully, if you understand the strategies on a deeper level, you might be able to pick things you can implement into your own brand strategy. My name is Steven. I've built and scaled a digital marketing agency for interior designers. Right now, I'm working in-house for different brands at different marketing capacities. So this video would be a series where I try and explore the biggest or some of the best marketing plays I've seen from Nigerian businesses. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you're a brand or you're a marketer yourself, there are things you can pull from these videos you can implement into your own brand strategy as a way to grow. inDrive had a problem. They had a branding problem. When inDrive came into the ride-hailing space, there was already Bolt, there was already Uber. They needed a way to differentiate themselves from the market, and they came up with the ability for their customers to negotiate pricing. This came with its own problem, because the fact that people could negotiate their prices on inDrive, they automatically assumed inDrive was like a cheaper alternative to Bolt or to Uber. And the thing is, if you've used inDrive, you know the price difference is not actually that significant from the other alternatives, right? And basically, why I say they have a branding problem is branding basically is, I think the easiest way I can explain branding is the perception people have of your brand. When you think of certain brand, what do you associate them with? So when you think of Nike, you think Michael Jordan, you think basketball, you think sports, right? So that's basically branding, that's association. The association, the perception people had with inDrive this was the cheaper alternative, and it really wasn't the case. And you can see how this could affect conversions and their revenue, because if I'm trying to book a ride on Bolt is too expensive, then I want a cheaper alternative, and I go to inDrive, it's not actually cheaper, so I'm not actually getting that right. I'm guessing they had a client acquisition problem. Not that they couldn't get clients, but the cost per acquisition was definitely very high. So they work with a brand called Dynasty Africa. I'll be leaving a link to a video they made of the behind the scenes of these campaigns below this video. So the strategy they came up with was they needed to make the right associations. That's basically branding. So they needed to rebrand. Not necessarily rebrand as changing their business model. They needed to control the narrative people had of their brand. What inDrive was associating itself to was being cheap because they were able to negotiate prices, and that wasn't intentional. So they needed to control that narrative. And Dynasty Africa came up with the idea of inDrive Dream Ride, where they could associate, if people felt inDrive was cheap, let's associate inDrive to luxury. So they started associating inDrive to Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, G-Wagon. So they had celebrities picking up people. So while this went viral, this got inDrive a lot of visibility, there was also something bigger at play, more genius marketing, or I would say branding strategy at play here, which was subconsciously, I would say this was like subtle mind manipulation. People didn't know what they were doing. They understood, okay, I was going to meet celebrities, but there was something else at play, which was people were starting to make the right associations. They were beginning to, when you think of Lamborghini, when you think of Rolls-Royce, you're picturing inDrive. I think one of the reasons why I really liked this campaign is they used one of the fundamental marketing principles, which is show, not tell. They could have easily gotten on camera and tell people, oh, my rides are not cheap. But they actually showed you their rides are not cheap, their rides are comfortable, you can get luxury rides with inDrive. These are all messages they try to pass across through this campaign. And your ability to be able to think strategically about your brand, try and understand the associations people are making subconsciously about your brand, and be able to tackle that in a strategic way like this. I think it's very genius. You hear people saying you need to control your brand narrative, right? This is basically what controlling your brand narrative is. When it comes to getting marketing or getting branding right, your ability to look at a brand and see what are assumptions people are making about this brand, maybe it's subconscious, and being able to control these narratives is what is going to set you apart as a marketer or set your brand apart. Right? Maybe you don't have inDrive's marketing budget. I'm sure there are inexpensive ways you can try and come up with creative solutions to tackle these problems. I believe this is one of the most creative marketing play by Nigerian I've seen in a while. If there are other marketing plays you've seen, drop a comment and I might be making a video about it. If you've gotten anything for this video, it should be try and control your brand narrative. Try and see what assumptions people are making about your brand that might be affecting your bottom line. Speak to your customers and look for inexpensive and creative approach to tackle or control these narratives.